Hello, Commander. This is Defense Politics Asia and Italy. Something happened. So NATO, you guys all know that NATO has been talking a lot, and Ukraine also talking a lot about the permission to strike within Russia. And the NATO chief Stoltenberg basically called on his allies to allow Ukraine to use these supplied weapons to be able to use within Russia. And this caused a massive debacle in Italy. So the Italian Deputy Prime Minister, Matteo Salvini, I think it's this guy, disagreed. He said that Italy is not at war with anyone, and it was right to help Ukraine militarily. And it's also but it's also necessary to prohibit Ukraine from striking military targets in Russia. And he basically even called Stoltenberg to either apologize or resign. The very, very strong words. So, and the defense minister also said the same thing, Guido Crosetto. He pointed out that the NATO's decision makers are the member state, and the collective approach must be maintained, and is not by this Secretary General. And in fact, the whole point of a position of a Secretary General is never meant to be the person that makes decision, in my opinion. So this is a very serious situation, and on top of that, there is also further information. Matteo Salvini also said more because he's also the leader of the Lega political party. He said that it's out of the question to lift the ban on Kiev to strike military targets in Russia. So he said that Lega, which is the ruling party, I think the biggest party, I think it's the biggest party, or one of the major parties, is against sending even one soldier to fight in Ukraine. We want peace, not the antechamber of World War III. So this word is too deep for me. I don't understand what it means. I need to search the dictionary. And so the foreign minister said that we are an integral part of NATO, but every decision must be taken collectively. And Kiev choice is Kiev choice, but they will not. So Italy will not send any soldiers to Ukraine, and the military tools that Italy sent are used inside Ukraine. They are working for peace. So a bit of a different in terms of translation between this Pravda as well from the previous one that was by Decode 39. But basically the message is pretty clear. So the Prime Minister, of course, Meloni also echoes. I mean, clearly, if you have the other minister already made it so clear, I think Meloni can possibly go a different direction. And Meloni basically say that the statement used are she don't understand. She don't understand why Stoltenberg will say something like that. She said that she advised greater caution, and this is by Pravda, but Decode 39 was a bit more the translation, or maybe the transcription is a bit more complete. She said that the alarming tale of a Europe on the brink of a broad conflict is counterproductive. And he said that those who feed this narrative are irresponsible. Basically, she's saying that Stoltenberg is irresponsible, the NATO Secretary General. Deterrence is the only remedy. If we speak of a diplomatic route, it is because up to now we have maintained a balance of forces. If you want peace, prepare for war. Reciting a Latin motto. And this is actually correct. This is actually also something I always talked about, the balance of power. And basically, Meloni is trying to say that NATO is not at war with Russia. The way to keep peace is to maintain a balance of power between NATO and Russia, and is not to start a war. So basically, the message is pretty close. However, on the European stage, on the global international stage, G7 is now talking about they are still discussing. The foreign ministers, the finance ministers are meeting of the G7. They are talking about how to make use of this immobilized or frozen Russian assets. And however, the Italian finance minister Giorgetti basically acknowledged that the challenges posed by legal and technical issues remains difficult, and so he's very optimistic about trying to overcome them, which is kind of weird. How do you overcome what is already a legal and technical issue, which is like if you do it, you're just going to break everything. If it doesn't break anything, you don't have to think so hard. But because it breaks a lot of things, which is why they are struggling. So how do you go about overcoming them? I have no idea. Unless they want to destroy the entire collective West, I don't know. So the Ukrainian finance minister is however very happy. Serhiy Bachenko, saying that he's very satisfied with the progress made during the meeting. Sounds like he's the leader of the G7, and G7 is now diligently working to find reliable mechanism to support Ukraine in its financial needs. So it sounds like Ukraine is this emperor, and the emperor tell the ministers, I need more money, get it for me, and then all the minions start to discuss and see how they solve this problem. It feels like this, it makes no sense. I'm not even sure who's the leader right now. Is it Ukraine is the international leader or what? So this is getting a bit ridiculous, and clearly that if they can't even use the money which is already sitting there, which you already frozen, you can't even use it just like this. Clearly there is something big that is underlying, limiting the use of such assets. And clearly trying to overcome and try to force through something like this is going to have disastrous consequences. They want to destroy the entire international financial system, the trust in the collective West. They can go ahead and do it, I'm quite sure India, China, Indonesia, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, South Africa, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, every single big major country will be looking at this. And if they do it, you can be sure capital outflow from the West will be guaranteed. From out of Europe, out of the United States will be guaranteed. It will lead to a major financial situation within the collective West. So anyway, Italy, while talking about not helping Ukraine beyond what their mandate is, decided to help Palestine. So the Prime Minister of Palestine, Mohammed Mustafa, is welcomed in Rome by Giorgia Meloni. Meloni is very busy, as you can see. So they have pledged more support during this meeting for Palestine, and Mustafa is the leader of the Palestinian Authority. So this is not the same as the one in Gaza. The one in Gaza is Hamas. So the Palestinian authorities, despite they are the recognized government of the entire of Palestine, actually have no power or control of Gaza. So which is why it's important to note. In a way, you can say that this is the West Bank Prime Minister rather than Palestine Prime Minister. Because they have zero control over Gaza. So the Italy pledged millions of dollars to support Palestine, and the resumption of funding for UNRWA has been confirmed. So UNRWA is the United Nations Relief and Work Agency for Palestine refugees, which is exclusively a agency just for Palestine. So the other refugees of any other country have the main one. Only Palestine has something special called UNRWA. So very exclusive. I'm not sure how this came about, but they have an exclusive thing. So anyway, so Italy decided to resume this funding, and so it was first suspended because of Israeli claims that Hamas is using UNRWA. It's infiltrated UNRWA. UNRWA is filled with Hamas agents and people. But of course, clearly, if UNRWA is working in Gaza, and Gaza is ruled by Hamas, and Hamas controls everything, clearly UNRWA will have Hamas people. This is just brainless. Whether the Hamas people actually misuse the funds or not is a different story altogether. It's given that people working for UNRWA have links to Hamas is a guarantee. It's just brainless thing. It's just that they didn't misuse the funds. If they didn't misuse the funds, then I think there's no problem with them being Hamas. Anyway, the Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani said to the Palestinian side that they will not refund like giving back money, but they will restart the funding of the UNRWA fund. And they told the Foreign Minister of Italy have informed the Prime Minister of West Bank, Palestine, 35 million euros. However, of this 35 million euros, 5 million will go to UNRWA. However, the other 30 million will actually go to Gaza. So 30 million will be allocated to the Food for Gaza initiative, which is not, that means, as you know why I say Prime Minister of West Bank, most of this money don't go to West Bank. So I'm not sure if he would be super happy or not happy. This Muhammad Mustafa, the Prime Minister of Palestine. So hopefully he's happy. Because if he's not happy, then of course they are playing this political game very very cutthroatly. It's like I have no control. You give the money to Gaza, then doesn't benefit me. So that could be a possibility. No, because politics is politics. No, don't think of it as too rosy. So whatever it is, this is the case. And another good news but this time around for Italy was that Italy have declared that they have gained independence from Russian LNG. So Italy no longer need Russian gas. This announced on the 24th of May by the Minister of Environment and Energy, Gilberto Pichetto Fratin. So the Meloni also confirmed that the Russian gas now flowing to Italy is now very small and no longer critical important to Italy. So the diversification, one of the key elements was the installation of a floating regasification unit. So this, interestingly, this floating installation basically is a ship. It's called BW Singapore, which is like, wow, it's a Singapore. So anyway, it's now floating off the coast of Egypt, and it will be arriving in Italy early next year. And so currently the Russian gas supplies to Italy is now just 5%. In 2021, before the Ukraine war, it was 35%. It was pretty significant. So Italy has managed to successfully diversify away from Russian gas. And however, this is the only good news I have for you right now, because Italy have sky-high debt. So Meloni blamed that the situation with the public finance and the constant need to do trades with other political parties within the coalition is making things impossible to operate as a government. They say that the public debt is sky high, investment is at zero, and then you have a political horizon of a year and a half. You can't start a strategy, you can't invest. All you can do is spend, and to attain immediate consensus. So she's complaining about the current political realities in Italy, and so the situation. So what she wanted to do was that she is now campaigning and hoping to sell some political reforms, in order to enact some kind of a change, so that to make the change to Italians vote for the premier directly. So in order to make the prime minister stronger and create this to reduce this political instability within Italy. So apparently within this century, Italy have already 14 administrations. Not sure is that too many or too little. Whatever it is, this measure is unlikely to get support from the lawmakers. So the proposal will be put through the people through referendum. And some people complain that this will reduce the check and balances in favor of the executive branch. So the problem, I would say, is really depend on whether you trust the government or not. So if you really depend on the government, then you probably need the government to be a bit stronger. Like in Singapore's case, the thing is that Singapore's government and the politicians are less corrupt. So they put the country first most of the time. So, but Italy, whether they are in that kind of state, I'm not sure. So she says that she lamented that if the government have 5 years to work, then they would have ability to enact some kind of strategy. So this remark come because Italy's public finances is getting worse, very very bad right now, and they're looking at rising borrowing. So far Italy is now the third biggest debt pile in just 3 years. And this is due to one pandemic era tax incentive called the Superbonus, which is causing a hemorrhage in the Italian finances. So what is the super bonus? I went to check out, and so there is this explainer. So the super bonus is actually introduced by Giuseppe Conte in 2020 in reaction to COVID. So it offers to pay 110% of the cost of any energy saving renovation, and I promise to cover 90% of the cost of doing up the facade of a building. So to make it more energy efficient and whatnot. Clearly 110% is what a stupid number to put in. You can just say pay 100%, government just fund it. But 110% you are giving people money for free. And yeah, clearly you know what's going to happen, when this kind of policy is enacted. So they predicted that they will only spend 35 billion euros over 15 years. But in just 4 years, they spent 160 billion. Far outstrip the benefit to the economy, which is like mind-blowing. 110%. Even I don't need the light bulb, I will just make a new light bulb. No, I just change a light bulb because I gotta get money for it. No, so what a stupid policy. So making it free is already too much, So anyway, so the government underestimated the scheme's appeal, and due to a number of other errors, and so due to the generous handout, the homeowners have no reason to haggle with builders over cost since it's free and you get free money. So the payments exceeded what they spent, and high cost means more money left for the homeowners. So whatever it is, everybody earns money except the government. The government spends money. So when asked why the forecast was so wrong, officials in the planning say that they have no precedents to draw on, as no one outside has ever refunded more than the cost of the renovation, which is obvious. Like, duh. Why would anyone give more money than the cost of renovation? It makes zero sense. And it's like, it feels like someone already have a plan. They have buy certain stocks, or they have certain kind of businesses, and it's like, oh, this is a good idea, and then they earn a lot of money from it. I don't know, it feels like it. So Meloni last year said that 12 billion euros worth of irregular contracts has been uncovered, calling it the biggest scam that Italy has ever suffered. And recently she suggested the number has raised to 16 billion. Then the question is, why not stop this program, right? Clearly, this is crazy program, this is a crazy law. Stop it immediately because you're hemorrhaging money, right? You're losing so much money. But no, because the program is so popular with voters and small businesses, so no political parties dare to pull the plug. So which will left with the families and builders with useless credits. So they are afraid of getting kicked out of parliament and make the voters unhappy because now they are giving free money essentially. So so this law continues to roll within Italy somehow. So the super bonus has helped Italy to perform better than any other European countries since COVID pandemic because their construction output has grown 31% in 4 years, as compared to 12% drop in Spain and 11% drop in France, in Germany, and a flat line in France. So this is a ridiculous situation that Italy is putting themselves into. The government is going broke, and then somehow they are still giving money to Palestine. They're giving money to Palestine. Although this is not a lot of money as compared to the kind of money that they're hemorrhaging. And of course, they are still giving arms to Ukraine. So Italy, very interesting. So anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you find something interesting in these headlines, and press the like button, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment, and of course the Italians in the DPA army, let me know what you think. Because you guys know the best because you are inside the country. So I will read the comments as much as I can, and I'll see you guys in the next update.